Welcome to the Music City Open, part of the PDGA National Tour Series. We're here in Nashville, Tennessee at the Cedar Hill Park Disc Golf Course. I'm Sarah Hokum here with Zoe Andike.
Hi everybody, and thank you for joining us for the finale of the National Tour Series. Starting off on hole 1, it's a par 3, 356 feet. We've got an exciting card here for you today. Kona Panis, Macy Velediaz, Heather Young, and Paige Pierce.
Pretty daunting starting hole, 350 feet. Definitely plays, I think it plays to a sidearm, but I don't know if we're going to see that out of any of these players.
Yeah, just getting out the gap, giving yourself a chance for either a jump putt or an easy upshot really is how our field is playing this hole.
Kona up first, throwing a destroyer. Throwing it really low, but that could have been her intention to make sure she misses those cedar trees on the right.
Absolutely. I think it's well known out here that even touching one of those cedar trees will be the end of your disc's flight. Now we've got Paige Pierce teeing off second.
Also throwing the line drive. Getting under those trees, not really getting close to the basket, but into the fairway just fine.
Yeah, keeping it nice and low. I think, like you had mentioned with Kona's shot, definitely a safer attack to this first hole.
Heather going fairway driver with her F5. Turns it over a little bit too much.
Got a little bit of ground play there, but she's still in the fairway. Anything off the fairway is almost like a natural OB here.
Yeah, it's so thick.
Very thick. And Macy.
She's going Explorer. So straight disc.
Wow.
Gets it out there right into the middle.
Great shot. Controlled fairway driver there. And also keeping it low.
Heather with a challenging approach.
She does find a little bit of a run-up, though, and gets herself just inside the circle. Kona with the trusty sidearm putter upshot here.
This is her AVR X3. Puts it right under the pin. That'll be an easy 3.
Stress-free start. Same thing for Macy there. Just tapping over the top of Kona's disc. We've got Pierce lining up for the jump putt.
Looks to be about 60 feet. Gives it a run.
And not bad. She's in a pretty good spot there.
Heather with a little work to do after her errant tee shot, but she is inside the circle, and she is one of the better putters on tour. No problem.
Nice and confident.
She's got such good flow, just so smooth through her stroke.
I do really appreciate her rhythm and routine, checking the wind, and just confidently. And Paige is in for her par.
Left with a couple of tap-ins. This played as one of the more difficult holes, and not because it was easy to bogey, but because it was impossible to birdie. We saw zero birdies on this hole on the day, 61% pars. So yeah, this one is playing for par as the second most difficult hole on the course. Get another look at Heather's form. On to hole 2.
And here we have our first par 5, 618 feet. And I do love the view of this flyover. You've got to get out that first gap around the corner and get yourself really as far left as you can safely to approach the next shot. I mean, the gap is on the left-hand side of the fairway. Clearly nothing on the right unless you're just going to poke and hope through those gaps. And then quite a bit uphill to get to the basket. Pretty fair par 5 here for the ladies, and gives you a little bit of room to play with in case you get into some trouble with those trees.
Kona up first. She's going with her T-bird. Saws it off a little bit, but I think she might be all right. I think she wanted that to be a little straighter.
Yeah, I think she had a pretty drastic hyzer angle. Paige taking it wide enough out there, getting a nice skip. Good ground play for this course. It's just drying out, so.
This is good position.
Yes.
Heather going with her D2.
I like the lefty forehand play. Oh yeah, getting her in great shape there. Probably wanted a little more left, but good spot to be.
Macy going with a Sargent. Gets it a little too straight, and she's on the right side rough.
Macy throws really far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she might need to disc down or just go a little more overstable tomorrow.
Heather going back to that D2. She's a little bit on the right side, but she gets really far down there. I don't know what her next look will be like. It might be a little bit hairy.
Kona with the forehand just had a little extra Anheuser angle on it. I think she got a little bit of a roll out there. We'll see what that leaves her.
And Macy in recovery mode, throwing her Warden out to the center. Good idea. There didn't look like there was much over there.
And that was a good spot to pitch out to.
Now on her third, utilizing a really strong forehand.
Well-versed player there. Strong forehand, strong backhand. That was only her third shot.
And now we're at Paige's second, going with her Soul.
Might have come out just a little early there. Clipped off the tree, and she's just kind of on the rough side of the left side of the fairway.
And here's Kona's third shot with a lot of trees in her way. She's going to have to get a little greasy.
Oh, yeah. Weaving through some trees. I think that's going to give her a putt.
Yeah, pin high. Paige with a fierce scootling up there with a short putt.
Yep. I believe that puts her in position for a birdie.
Wow, that was such a technical shot.
From the knee, too. Great shot by Heather Young there.
And Macy with just a short pitch. Oh, that was much shorter than I was anticipating. Now in recovery.
She doesn't want to mess around. She just wants to tap in and get out of here. Kona lining up kind of her old style of putt and cashing it in. Excellent.
Jinx.
Love it.
Great birdie by Kona.
Absolutely.
Paige also with a birdie putt, an uncharacteristic miss.
Just a little high there. Got banded by the basket, leaving her with a tap-in par.
Heather also cashing in on the birdie.
Well played there for Heather after that tee shot. She really scrambled up and made short work of that.
Yeah, I like that she went sidearm, backhand, sidearm, putt. Really utilizing all the skills.
Unfortunate bogey there. Just a little bit of trouble in that fairway for Macy, but she'll be moving on to hole 3. Paige with her par.
Really good scoring spread on this one. 22% birdies, 44% pars, 33% bogeys. Great hole.
We're moving on here to hole 3. It's a par 3, 266 feet. It definitely plays uphill. It's maybe a little longer than 266. Very tight hallway, just straight up the middle, a little bit right. Players are probably choosing a controlled fairway or even a mid-range on this particular hole just to stay straight and not get some crazy kicks from a driver off those trees.
Kona going with a Mako 3.
Awesome.
Hits the fairway, leaves it a little short, but that's a great spot to be.
Right up the center.
Heather going with a D2, looking to get as much distance as possible. Leaves it out a little right, but it's very open over there. It's a good miss, or even a viable game plan.
Absolutely.
Paige going with putter. I'm assuming that's one of her fierces, and puts a pin high.
All the way up there. There's a putt.
Macy deciding to go with the sidearm. It's a felon, and leaves it a little short. Looks like she missed her line a little bit to the right.
Circle 2, kind of obstructed putt here. Wow, and really awesome and aggressive jump putt there. I like how she kept her footing and stayed safe.
Kona looking to get the birdie.
Good attempt.
Good height on that.
Yeah, she'll just have a tap-in par, stress-free for Heather's birdie. Oh, reset.
Oh,
just short. And also for Paige's birdie.
Looking to come back from that missed putt on the last hole. Cleaning it up, puts it in the basket. Nice birdie.
And that's adding, a little chip into the confidence basket right there. Just what Paige needs to continue through the rest of this round.
Macy cleaning up the par.
And just a couple of tap-ins here left to do on hole 3.
This one playing as one of the easier holes, about the 4th or 5th easiest.
22% birdie rate here.
I like that there's such a variety of shots and distances on this course.
I agree with that. It's pretty nice when we've got a lot of options and all skill levels and strengths for players to choose from.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll be back in a minute after a word from our sponsors.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I think I'm going to land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. Having the Bushnell rangefinder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, Double G craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating Double G craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know Double G's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of Double G jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
And we're back here with hole 4. It's a par 3, 321 feet. And you can see that there's a fairway up the right, and you can land left to give yourself an alley on the left-hand side, but not a lot of discs actually fly that way. Sidearms can get up in there. This is a very reachable hole for our entire field. Paige at the top of the box with that birdie.
Paige going with the flip up. So she's looking for that deep gap. There's like some people are kind of hyzering into the early gaps, looking to get through and kind of park it. Paige's play puts her close to the basket, but with a putt. And it looks like Kona's doing the same thing.
Wow, getting great ground play there. Great skip up action. She's got a bid.
She took the early gap, actually, so that was a good illustration of how to get the birdie from there. This one is a tougher line for a lefty. She needed to flex that just a little bit more, but she has a long look.
Yeah, I believe she's in circle 2 there.
And Macy going with her Sargent, also taking the wide route.
Hyzering in, getting the ground play.
Right by Paige.
Yeah, pin high. Maybe even just a little past. Giving it a bid.
Cool.
That was close.
Looked great. Paige also likely outside of the circle by quite a bit. Looking about a 50, 60 footer. Doesn't quite get it up. but that'll be an easy tap in. Macy a little bit closer inside the circle. 25 feet.
Just missing left. Good height, though, on that. Kona,
who practically parked this. Just got a little work to do.
Yes.
Cashes in, gets that birdie. Wow, that's 2 out of 4 holes for Panis.
Great start for Kona here. One unique and cool thing about Cedar Hill is, well, all these cedar trees everywhere, creating a lot of straddle putts, a lot of step out or take a knee lines. You know, it's just, you've got to be lacing it off the tee or else you're going to have a really interesting stance. You've got to kind of work around all these trees. Appropriate name for the course, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another look here at that birdie for Kona.
Full extension, not lots of confidence.
Beautiful putt. I like that she's using a variety and mixture of the old and the new putt. Moving on to hole 5. Again, it's a par 3. It's only 236 feet up, you know, pretty drastic elevation uphill, so playing a little bit longer than that, much more like 260, 270. Off to the right a little bit, so a straight shot is actually going to leave you mostly obstructed unless you get it all the way to pin high, which will give you a putt. Kona choosing to go with the sidearm here.
This is her Emperor. Oh, she turns it over. An easy mistake on an elevated fairway. Paige with a soul. Doesn't quite get turned, but Tree kicks her to the right. She'll have a tough putt.
Just outside the circle there.
Heather is just licking her chops here, getting to throw her preferred throw, hyzer, up a hill.
Lefty backhand is favorable here.
And Macy going with a defender, looking for a big fade to the right.
And gets it. Wow, look at that flare skip. I think she's just in or on the circle's edge there.
Kona with a difficult lie. Need to throw this with touch. She gets up there for a putt.
Pretty good touch on that.
Paige will have to navigate some of these trees. There's also a ceiling here that doesn't allow you to really throw the ante as high as you need it to get it into the basket. And Heather with an open look for birdie. Get in there.
Ah, just the top of the cage there.
Macy looking to capitalize. Great to see Macy back in play. She's played a few events this year. She really had a breakout year last year. Played great at the women's national championships with putts like that. We expect to see her at the top of the leaderboard.
Absolutely. That's a great birdie there for Macy. Kona hoping to take her par and move on.
Great putt.
There we go.
Keeping it clean.
And a little momentum shift there. Macy will be taking the box with that birdie as we move in to the 6th hole.
There's another look at Macy's putt. Such great spin. Nice and flat.
Dead center. It's the kind of putts you dream about. And here we are on hole 6. It's a par 3, 280 feet. This is a tricky hole. I think both the MPO and FPO fields can agree. Quite a few options to get yourself down very far to the dogleg right and downhill that this basket is located. I mean, it's like a 90-degree turn at such a funny distance. So, I mean, players I've seen, backhand rollers, forehand rollers, sky sidearms, you name it. I'm actually throwing a left-handed shot here.
Wow. Yeah, this is really tricky. And looks like Macy's going for that inside gap, which it might be the play, honestly. I mean, it looks like you should take the wide gap that we're seeing from Kona, but that just gets you a pitch down to the pin. It doesn't get you to the pin.
Absolutely.
I've seen, I think also some people have been throwing sidearm rollers.
Yep.
With a really overstable disc on an angle.
Paige with a nice low forehand, hoping for the ground action. I think that it just kind of landed and peeled out a little and stuck. Heather leaving it out a little wide, but hoping for that skip.
Gets the straight skip down the hill, and she has a straight look at the basket, but still very far away.
And as you can see from this angle, a lot of trees when taking that early gap. Oh, she does get a good little kick off that tree, though, giving herself a little bit of potential. Still an obstructed putt. Paige laying up with the jump putt there. And you can see all the down trees and the roots there really making it tough to execute a solid layup.
And if you get a little too aggressive, it is downhill beyond the basket. So you can leave yourself a substantial comebacker.
Oh, no.
That
just
hurts.
Low ceiling all over this course. You've definitely got to look around as a player to see what is in front of you. Oftentimes, 6, 10, 20 feet in front of you, we don't look up above ourselves. Unfortunately, Kona got clipped down.
Macy with an obstructed putt.
Oh,
Sneaks it in the right side.
Through that little hallway.
Heck of a par save.
And we've got Paige here for the par. All right. Making some short work of the pars here. A couple of tap in for Heather.
Yeah, really tough hole. Nobody got a birdie on this one today, and only 3% of the field got even into circle 2.
Wow.
So, par is good on hole 6. If you can do things like this, at least. A lot of trouble. Wow. I like it when they're framed up like that. Sometimes it makes it easier to focus.
Just get through the gap and you're in.
And we'll be right back.
Passion is more than fiery emotion. It feeds the spark to start your day. It fuels your obsessions. It inspires your dreams. Passion challenges your fears, and it repeatedly bathes you in sweat until you are transformed into a new, better you. Disc golf isn't just your passion, it's ours too.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
And we're back. Hole 7. It's a par 4. Tell me about it.
Well, it's 632 feet. Again, pretty narrow fairway, extremely downhill, and the wind that you feel at the tee pad is very different or much more drastic than what you will feel halfway or even all the way down at the bottom of the hill. We get into this open kind of field area, and then lo and behold, here's the basket far off to the right-hand side. Players really need to develop a practice plan to attack this hole for the birdie. Breaking it down and just getting through this first initial gap is the first goal here on the hole.
Macy going with an Explorer, and this is great. She gets almost all the way out of the gap, all the way down the hill with an open look to the pin. Which
is hard to do, getting that open look. There's so many trees right there to pinch you off on the right, and anything in the right is just danger.
This is looking like a mid out of Paige. Pushing that right side. There is a couple gaps over there, so she may not be too obstructed.
Definitely caught some of that headwind, though, as you can tell, going a lot further right than what she was hoping for.
Heather going with her D2, looking for a little more turn.
And that headwind suspending it.
But it gets through all the way to the front side of those trees. That's great. Kona going with T-Bird.
Nice controlled play here.
That slow flip is great.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I mean, she got most of the way down there. Oh, Paige is obstructed.
Very, very obstructed
and
lion.
Something in her backswing. Oh,
no.
That looked a little rushed. Sometimes it's just uncomfortable to be in the woods like that. So you just kind of try to get the disc out of your hand.
Wow, great out there, giving herself a chance still.
And Macy on her second, looking to get this all the way to the pin for a birdie look.
It's a great
She does
shot.
it. That looks like a
Yes.
15-footer. Kona with a bit of a couple trees in her way. And the ceilings. The ceilings are a thing out here. There's a lot of low branches to maneuver around.
Gotta believe that would have gone all the way there without that tree hit. Tough footing there for Heather, as you could see. Hard to even maintain a stance after that shot. She's looking to get it up there under the basket. That's pretty dang good. That looks like a tap in to me.
Good execution.
Third shot here for Kona Panis.
Oh, a little bid.
We like it. And for Paige's par, outside of the circle.
Oh, quite a bit of wind out there. Now she'll have a short comebacker to save the bogey.
And she does. Yeah, as you can see, being out in this open field, a lot more wind, a lot more sound distraction from the road, and just, again, players doing their homework really is beneficial when you're getting to holes like these.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players didn't quite get the practice that they wanted. Time and energy, quick turnarounds from the previous weekend. Macy getting the birdie, the only one on the card.
Sweet birdie there.
One of only 4 birdies in the field today. That first shot is just so demanding.
Absolutely, and a lot of players having to just pitch out on their second shot from wherever they were. That is exactly how you want to play it. Great job, Macy. And here we are on hole 8. Par 3, one of the longer of the par 3s. It's 422 feet. Seemingly a bit more open at the beginning or first half of the fairway. Still a low ceiling to enter into, the green. And then look at all those trees on the left-hand side. Very small gap, kind of center to right side of the basket to enter. This is actually a pretty tough hole. I mean, it looks a little bit more open, but you've got to get through those first 2 trees and stay pretty straight.
Yeah, and the wind was what we felt on the tee pad was not what was happening in the fairway. There was quite a significant headwind. And this is actually playing as the most difficult hole on the course today.
Yeah, with a 50% bogey rate. Not really much of an opportunity for any of the players to get in there for the birdie. I mean, unless you have just got kind of a Hail Mary perfect straight shot with some good ground action.
Well, if anybody can get there, Paige can.
Absolutely.
Let's see if she is doesn't
just a
quite
little early.
Get the turn she needed, and the rough is rough. There's not much as far as gaps on that left side.
Heather in a pretty good spot to approach this basket.
Oh, misses it a little left, kicks to the right. Be a difficult par save. You could see this alley that Kona's trying to throw down.
Ooh.
Pretty good. A lot of trees by the basket.
Good execution on that.
Macy also hitting a tree as she's approaching the green. And Paige, you can kind of see that little teal thing in the woods there. There she is.
She does have an alley, though.
Yeah, she really punched through.
Oh,
valiant effort.
Really good effort. Parked.
Heather for her par save from pretty far away.
Just a little low, and that'll be a tap in for the bogey.
Macy also hit a tree on her approach, so she'll have a longer putt to try to save the par.
Oh man, just the top of the cage. Look at that little gap. Kona's got to putt through. Yes. Again, framed up.
Great par save. So a couple tap-ins left here. I got to give a huge shout out to the only birdie on the day, Miss Amber Meese. And she got it by throwing it in from 150 feet.
Wow. Yeah, Amber. A little bit of a field ace there. That's
Good.
exciting.
Multiple strokes on folks by getting the 2 here.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we head into our last hole for the front 9, take a good look at that sweet par save there. Look at that face. Yeah. Go, Kona.
Putter face.
Difficult hole here for the final hole in the front 9. It's a par 4, 495 feet. So as you can see, very narrow fairway gap, uphill, and then turning to the right, a bit of downhill to penetrate down through these woods. Very narrow gap, a different hole than what the MPO field has to play, which is a little bit rare and also kind of cool that we're playing a longer, seemingly a little bit more difficult hole. I think it's just a little more difficult because we have a lot more trees to deal with.
And placement is key. You know, there's most of the gaps are on that left side of the fairway. You want like basically pushing it straight and not fading it all to the right. There is a little gap on the right side, but it's kind of difficult to land in. Kona with an early release with her leopard 3.
Decent kick to the fairway instead of even further off.
Heather going with a D2. Needed to turn that a little bit. She's heading for that right side gap. Thankfully, she hit that tree, so she may still have an opening over there.
Yeah, the ground action was good to Heather there.
Macy throwing a defender.
Finding the gaps through the right-hand side. That was impressive.
That was not the fairway, but she found a way. Paige, this is the fairway. Oh, root jump. Okay, I don't know if it's very good right there. I guess she's on the right side. We'll see how she can get that down to the pin on her next one.
Kona with the forehand approach, finding another tree. Darn it. Having to straddle out for her third shot here.
Whew. That was great. Get up in there. Gets a little rejected, but she's at the edge of the circle. She'll have a putt to save her par.
There's a gap for the forehand here for Pierce.
Oh, it's so tight. So many trees to try to find your way through. And Heather also has a similar gap that Paige just tried to throw through. Looking at a couple 100 feet.
Oh yeah.
She's throwing her FX2 and gets caught up, but she'll have a look to make a putt. And Macy's second.
Oh, beauty. Look at this. In perfect position to putt in that birdie.
Paige looking to get up by the basket.
Difficult stance. Oh, cool. Decent kick.
Good tree. And this is Kona's par putt. Oh, and it rolled. Oh, no.
And as you can see, there's a little ditch behind that basket that if you're getting anywhere near it, it's going to suck you away from the basket further down the hill.
This is Heather's birdie look.
Oh, yeah, nice and easy.
Good control. From a straddle stance, which is not her typical putt.
14% birdie rate on this hole, and Heather added to that.
Paige for par.
Looking just a little bit frustrated there for Macy's birdie. No.
A little bit right. It doesn't catch.
Paige in for her bogey.
And Kona trying to stop the bleeding.
No.
He's going to have to tighten up that tourniquet.
Looked like she kind of pulled her follow through on that putt down really quickly. And again, when you're putting in for those bogeys or those stressful shots, you really want to hold and be confident and sure all the way through your stroke. Don't ever give up. Macy a little disappointed, but still taking her par.
And Heather with the solo birdie.
Another momentum shift for the second half of this first round.
I really like this hole. It's difficult, but it is also a lot of fun. So lots of color on the scorecard today. We've got Heather out in front with a -1, Kona at Macy at even, Kona at +1, and Paige at +2. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you on the back.